Hello, hello. Had a couple technical difficulties here, folks, but looks like this is live and we're good. All right, hello everybody. Damon Green here from the Iconic Agent and newconstructionmastery.com. I wanted to put these sessions together since many of us are sitting home or we're limited in mobility, just to put together some things that we can do and that you can do now to prepare for once you're out and about, kind of hit the ground running. So, we're at home. The other thing is most of our clients are also at home. So if we're all at home, there are people searching there, there's options you have to get in front of your audience and take advantage of the time you have at home now. So I'm bringing on some experts, some guests, just to kind of keep things flowing and, do what I can do to contribute. We'll have ask questions. We've got a few questions that have already been asked, and we'll go from there. So I'm live on my phone because doing it on the computer had some challenges, but I've got Nate here live, so I'm actually going to bring Nate on. Nate is actually one of the Iconic Agents. He's one of the founding members. I've seen massive amounts of success. We'll see if we can get him on this live. What I'll do is I'm going to play a replay. The replay will actually be the recording of Nate and I right now. If you're looking, you're just looking at me, but Nate is on as well. Without getting to the intricacies, we'll take care of that. So let me bring up, got a few folks trying to join now. Nate, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, perfect. So, I know you and I have had this discussion as far as, we're going to keep, the other thing is we're going to keep these short. We're going to keep them 10 to 15 minutes. Don't want to take a lot of your time, but we're going to give you actionable things you can do now. So I'm going to pull the questions up. Some of the questions that were asked, I'm going to go over one question and we can kind of piggyback on that. But, and let me put you by this speaker so people can hear you while they're live here. What are some things that agents can do? Well, tell us a little bit about yourself first, and then what are some things that people can do now while they have time on their hands and they're not out showing properties, visiting model homes, open houses, etc. What are some things that these agents can do now to help prepare for, when the dust settles and they can get out there and can't say get back to business as usual, but get back to business?
Well, first of all, I am a luxury agent based here in South Florida with a general focus on new and pre-construction condos and a little bit of single family. What I would suggest, first and foremost, is to just take this time to get familiar or get more familiar with the projects. This is a good time to just make sure you know the floor plans, make sure you know the price ranges, make sure you know the things that make each development unique. So there are going to be a lot of things, especially amenity wise and incentive wise, that all the developments are going to be offering, and all of them have. Everybody's got a swimming pool, everybody's got a gym. So those things aren't necessarily unique. Knowing what makes each one of these developments unique is part of what helps us as agents match the appropriate client with the appropriate new development. So this is a good time to be able to really, really familiarize yourselves with each development, each floor plan, each price range, and what makes those developments unique. And then sort of on top of that, one of the things that I've been working on is sort of pre-preparing social media content for that stuff. So I'm at home, I can batch content, I can take floor plans and highlight them and do some different things with them. So I have a week or two worth of content to share on social media because I'm not out showing properties at the moment.
That's actually a good idea. In general, I think, because I do this myself, batching your content is a really effective way to not have to worry about if you're inconsistent. So if you okay, I need to do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but you're not consistent, which is what I hear oftentimes. It's okay, we'll take Monday, just hypothetically, put together all your blog posts, shoot all your videos, write all your scripts, whatever the case may be, and schedule them out so you don't have to be consistent except once a month or maybe once a week. if you batch things together, and it just works out easier than trying to remember, oh, I got to get up and go do this piece of content and then go do this. Something else I highly recommend is, okay, so I'll repeat. I hear Terry mention that she couldn't really hear you. The replay will come back out for some reason. It's probably because everybody's home. Going live on my computer is a challenge, but I'm recording this separately in Zoom. So what I'll do is I'll just upload this so all of the audio will be clearer. I'm actually improvising now. I got my phone here and I got my webcam over here, and then Nate's over here on the shared webcam. So, you know, we make it do what it do. But I'll give you, the replay will have what it needs. Okay. So another question I've been asked, well, what can I do to get in a new construction, get buyer leads for new construction? And I'll say the same thing that I say anytime someone asks me this. If you're in this group, it's easy to overlook things. People get busy. But if you're in this group and you have not watched the free training, it's a 40-minute training that walks through step by step how to get in front of new construction buyers. We're not talking about crappy Facebook leads or Zillow leads. We're talking about people that are purely interested in new construction. They're looking to move forward. Yeah, you're gonna have some looky-loos here or there. But if you haven't overlooked that or you were too busy to watch it, I highly recommend that you take 40 minutes, sit down and watch that, because it's a game changer. Nate can attest to that. All of the other iconic agents in the program can attest to that, but the free training, you can take that information and run with it. So what you want to do is go to newconstructionmastery.com. That's newconstructionmastery.com. Put your name, email, phone number in. I will send you an email and a text message with a link. Watch that. If it's a good fit, we can schedule time to talk. So that's that. And then back to what I was saying, routine. Routine is really important, especially in, uncertain times. I know me, if I don't get back on my routine and I'm off, and I had a cold like 3 weeks ago, then I went out the country, then I came back and I wasn't eating right and working out right. It just doesn't work well with me. I need to get back on my routine, and I've been doing so. And that kind of helps keep the peace. So I was watching something yesterday, Deepak Chopra came on. It's not for everybody. It should be, but it's not. But he had mentioned, because of all the stuff going on right now, silencing the mind and then focusing on the future and what's going on. So that's something else without me getting too deep on that. Nate, any other topics or any other thoughts on that?
No, I think you pretty much covered a lot of it from a new construction or pre-construction standpoint. I sort of the caveat on the stuff I said earlier. Even if you don't want to take in a whole bunch of projects, just focus on one. Focus on one project and just learn it. 6 ways from Sunday, floor plans, price ranges, price per square foot, amenities, and all that, and then create all your content, around that. When you're at home, you can do exactly what we're doing. You can record, 10, 20, 30-second videos, a few minute video information spots on different pre-construction projects and why they're great, and really start to dominate the content that people will be searching for that stuff. I'm sure there's a big uptick in searches now because people who were home searching before could only search for homes on their lunch break and stuff like that. Well, now people can search for homes all day because they can't do nothing else but sit in front of the computer. So I think there's some opportunity in all of this chaos.
Yeah, because almost everybody is home. I'd say at least 65% of the country is at home. That means they're on their computer. They don't really have much of a choice. They're on their computers at some point. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a search, an uptick in searches for certain things. And even mentioning the sales centers typically, because we live in a new subdivision, and I went down to the sales center and asked they put a key fob on a pool and we didn't get it, blah, blah, blah. So I walked down there, and the sales directors or the sales staff is still on site. They're just very specific about, if you have these symptoms, don't come in. And they're not necessarily showing people around. They might say, okay, you can go check this out. So they're there. So 2 things, if you're able to get there, even if you don't want to walk in the sales center, you can pick the phone up and call them, get information. You can use New Home Source. You can use Google, an easy way to find new home subdivisions and sites that aggregate them, like New Home Source. New Home Source is really, really good. It's newhomesource.com. But just Google new construction near me, new construction in the zip code, new construction Tampa, Florida, new construction wherever the case may be, and see what pops up. And then take 5. It's the whole 3-step PDA, which in these trainings, in the next week or so, I'm going to walk through each step of the PDA process. Projects, P, demand, D, automation, and I'm actually going to cover some more automation right now. But use those 3 steps, and like you literally dominate new construction. But since you're home, the first P in PDA is projects. Go to New Home Source, Google it, put together an archive, come up with 5 projects, call them, get all the details. If you haven't taken the mini class, then you go to theiconicagent.com/mini class. It's a free mini class that goes over the 3-step PDA process. I give you tools, resources. I actually give you the actual landing pages we use, the blueprint for automation, tools to find demand. So if you're real savvy, jump on it, go through that. It's a 2-week messenger training. You can go through that and pretty much take action on it. So there's plenty of opportunity to at least get prepared. It's uncertain times and things are, who knows, but this soon shall pass. And when it does, you want to be ready. You want to be able to get back out there and do what you're doing, and even take advantage of things now, because the new norm is, we don't know what it is yet, but we have all this technology and all these tools in front of us. You actually have to learn this stuff now. You have no choice, or you're going to fall by the wayside. So now's your opportunity to hop on Google, hop on Bing, go to New Home Source, find out projects, start to build content. Native mentioned building out content for projects. You can use if you go to my YouTube channel, there's a video of how to put together a new construction video, kind of a video tour with pictures within 10 minutes. You literally just go to Google Chrome, you type in download all images plugin, you download that to Google Chrome, you go to the site, the builder site, you can download all their images, use Lumen 5, which is a free application. There's a paid, things like $45 a month, but you can get the free application, and it'll literally take all those and put them in a slideshow for you. Real simple, real basic, pretty clean, but you don't have to go pay a huge videographer. Work with what you got. So that's something else you can do. Or you can pull images down, you can modify the images. There's a lot of things you can do. What I like to do sometimes is if I'm pulling images and I didn't get permission, and usually you can get permission from the builder and they're like, fine, or the sales staff. But if you can't do that, download the images, then I alter them. I'll go to Fiverr and have somebody change them. Or there's a bunch of image altering, like they'll create paintings of it or sketches, or you can modify them if you're not able to get to the builder to actually take your own photos, or get to the model or take your own photos or video. So there's plenty of options of things that you can play around with. And let me see, so we got about another 5 minutes. So I'm going to answer this other question that was asked. Now, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. Let me see here. We got Karen, which address were you referring to? The new Home Source? There's New Home Source, which is where you can find projects across the country, communities. Then there's also, if you're looking for the mini class, it's theiconicagent.com. Now, I cannot put my web addresses right now in anything in Facebook, because they came at me and said I was an agent, so I need to be in a special ads category. Of course, we all deal with these Facebook issues. Obviously, I'm not. But because I didn't build my website out, it wasn't broke, don't fix it. Now it's broke, so I got to fix it. So you cannot go, I can't put my links in the chat because it won't allow me to. So I'll have that covered. Actually, something I'm working on this weekend. Those some sort of challenges in business in general. But okay, you found it. So yeah, New Home Source, great site. The Chrome plugin is, matter of fact, I'm sitting here guessing. I'm sitting right in front of my computer. I'll tell you, it's called Download Images. If you Google in Chrome, download images, it'll actually take a zip file. It'll create a zip file and download all your images. So that, Jaysha, if you jump on my YouTube channel, there's a video on there that walks through the whole thing, or email me and I'll email that to you. So let's see. Okay, so the other last question. So we got about, I don't want to keep these too long. So let me see how long we've been on here. Find out exactly how long I've been on. Oh, it doesn't tell me. Okay. Well, yeah, we got one more question. So one of them, Mike asked how to set up lead systems such as text messaging, ringless voicemails, Facebook ads, free ways of marketing, follow-up systems, and CRM. That's a lot of questions. So I'll go over the automation piece. And one thing I get asked a lot is, you know, what free options do I have that we can use? And I'm not really a big advocate of free marketing because at the end of the day, when people pay, they pay attention. And people don't value free. So you've got all the free information you can use right now, but you're still asking for free information because it's not as valued. So I highly recommend getting into a program. Doesn't have to be mine. You know, I'm fine either way. Getting into a program that'll show you how to do it. But there are some free things that you can do. It's just free is not as effective. That's another reason. Like I'm looking to go effective. I don't want to spend, you can spend two things, time or money. I don't want to spend a bunch of time on something and not really pull from it when I know I can spend money and I can get a lot. So I can do free, get a little, do paid, get a lot. My strategy is always find a way to invest something. You've got to have a marketing budget. So find a way to invest something, get to the point where you have that working for you. Once that's working for you, then you can start to layer on the free stuff like content, blog posts, just organic videos, because you now have an audience that you can shift to it. Kind of like here, you're on the Facebook Live. Because I paid using Facebook ads to get in front of you, got your information, you trusted me enough to say, hey, let's see what this guy's talking about. So now you're here watching this. Now I can start giving talks like this and we can provide Ask Me Anythings and, you know, Facebook Lives because I have an audience. Versus if I did this with zero, there'd be 3 people on it. It's probably going to be my family. So my recommendation is always find a good program, and then that's subjective and it's hard to find one, but find a good program where somebody's willing to mentor you and go with it. But, you know, Nate, can you answer that, you know, free ways to market? Because I buy customers. I can control it. I can turn it on and off instantly. And then I start working on the organic stuff. So what are your thoughts on that?
Create the content. You know, we've tried a lot of different things when it comes to spending money and not spending money and trying to do it on a shoestring budget and stuff like that. The easiest, most cost-effective way to generate leads if you don't want to spend any money is to create content. And creating that content requires you to be out and about, whether that's talking to people around the new construction developments, talking to people at the new construction developments, recording videos, posting tweets or posting stuff on Instagram. The best way to do that outside of the old-fashioned way, buying traffic, is to create relevant content. If you're creating relevant content, I can name several agents who are doing really well that are making, you know, decent money, and a big part of their marketing strategy is just creating content. The challenge with that is that most agents, many of us don't have the discipline or the time to create that content. So ironically, you know, that we're having this conversation in a moment where pretty much every agent has the time to create the content. So if you don't have the budget, you have the time, create the content, and creating the content and putting the content out will generate you the leads you want. So, and it will definitely be quality over quantity, at least in the beginning, but creating that content, you know, is the most cost-effective way that I know of that you can reach the most relevant audience in the shortest period of time.
Okay. Okay, and I just put in the chat the website to go to. Actually, don't hold on. Let me a second. Let me edit this because I cannot spell. Let's see, new construction mastery.com. Okay, there we go. You got to put it all together, but I typed that out. It's newconstructionmastery.com. If you watched that, by the way, we're very selective about who we let into the new construction marketing mastery program, because I work personally with you. But if you're interested in finding more information about that, because of the situations, if you're watching this live, because of right now, the uncertainty, the whole nine, I am offering, I'll say incentive. I don't believe in discounting what I do and my services. But if you're listening to this, if you go to Talk to Damon, that's DAMON.com, go to talktodamon.com. Make sure you watch the 40-minute training first. Schedule some time to talk, and we can talk about a decrease in the investment. And I'll add, there'll be some things that are scaled out based on what's been paid for, but from other clients. But this is not something anybody anticipated. My goal is, which is why I'm doing this, is to help as many people as I can. I understand everybody doesn't have, thousands of dollars to invest, especially now. It's now. I don't even have to give that any merit there. We know where we are. So yeah, but yeah, what Nate, content works. Now, see, that's not free either. Yeah, even the free methods that I would recommend, and one of the future lives that I do, I'll go into this, but there are ways that are inexpensive that work really well. But again, it's not free. Like I get out of the mindset of free if you can, because you're shooting yourself in the foot. Have some sort, even if it's $100 a month, you have to have a marketing budget. Even if it's just $100 a month, you want to stretch that $100 out. So there's that. So the next thing was, lead systems. Now, a lead system basically is, contrary to belief of many, your IDX website is not where you want to send people. You don't want to send people to your website at all. You need to send them to a landing page. And I've had many students come in and like, well, I want to send them to my pretty website versus your basic landing page. Don't do it. Doesn't work as well. I've been doing this for over a decade. And I promise you, I've never had a website off the jump. You can make a website work, but off the jump, like the IDX websites, it's not going to work. So have a landing page. Set up a landing page that captures specific to whatever the project is. We're talking about automation. Now, automation works really well, and Nate can tell you several times where he was sitting at his kids' games and lead came in, he texted him a little this and that, met up at the sales center the next day, made some closings. Didn't even have to actually talk to him right then and there. Of course, he called back. You got to follow up. But the automation tools we use Zapier to tie everything together. We use Lead Pages to capture leads and test, because marketing is all about testing. We're talking about text messaging. If you're looking at text messaging, we use CallFire. Really cheap. It's like $2 for a unique number. Now, the beauty of CallFire, any call tracking, is you have tracking of calls. So when you set up a campaign, this lead came in through this campaign, and it works because you can see how many calls. You can record the calls and listen to them and see what you did, what you didn't do well or did better. You can create like phone trees, all for less than $10 a month for one number. So CallFire is awesome. That's how we send our text messages out as soon as a lead comes in. We use Zapier to send text messages to our agents and emails. We use GetResponse for GetResponse, a combination of GetResponse for our email drip sequences and campaigns. And that jumps into a Google Sheet. That's our CRM. Our CRM is literally a Google Sheet. Nothing fancy. Why? Because it works. Now, you can use Zapier to connect it to a whole lot of CRMs if you'd like to. And then we use Slide Broadcaster for our ringless voicemails. And if you're on here, more than likely you have witnessed that from my own marketing. Like, I use what I teach, but those tools are really awesome. CallFire, yes, Steve. CallFire.com. Great tool. And inexpensive. Now, you can also, with CallFire, you can do text blasts. I've done those. You can do voice, not ringless voicemails. You can do voice drops. So you can record a message and send it out to all the people and say, hey, this is Steve. We got this great new project here in, hometown USA. Great incentives, the whole nine, give me a call, whatever the case may be. Then you can also automate your text messages like we do. So the sequence work like this. Lead finds our ad, and we run our ads on Google. We'll talk about the difference between Google and Facebook later because I'm running over. I don't want to be too long here. We're about to jump off. But the lead comes in. Once the lead comes in, the lead gets a text message immediately from you, the agent. Then the lead gets an email immediately from you. And then a minute or so later, they get a voicemail. Now, the key is with the communications, every communication is set up to get a reply. We're not just saying, hey, I sent you information. It's text message. Email goes out. Text message says, hey, this is Damon. I saw you were looking for information on, Canva in Miami or Canvas in Miami. Just want to make sure that you receive the email that I just sent you. So now they're thinking, wait a minute, you sent me an email? So what do? I go over to the phone or the computer and look for an email. The voice message says, hey, just wanted to follow up. I sent you a email and I sent you a text message. I wanted to follow up with a voicemail. So if they happen to check that, now they're like, wait a minute, let me go find the text messages and the email. So it's psychology based. You want people to get the response because then once you get the response, now you're going to be able to pick the phone up, call them and start, the key is reach them within 5 to 15 minutes and start building that relationship. You got to pick the phone up. Automation does not take the place of people. You got to pick the phone up. You got to call them immediately and start building that relationship because they can easily bypass you and go to the sales center. A little harder now, but once things kind of clear up, people will be able to do that. So you got to get that one-on-one communication. I'm sorry, it's Sly, SLY broadcaster. So Sly broad. Matter of fact, here I'm gonna paste it in here. Sly broadcast. Boom. I'll paste in there. This I can paste in the chat. So there you go. So I get. You know what, Steve? I don't know if Zapier integrates with KV Core. So go to Zapier, Zapier.com. Go to Zapier.com and look at the integrations. That'll give you all the integrations you need. It's an awesome tool. Zapier, it basically takes the development out of development. Really, really, really good tool. So it's like the glue. It'll glue all the stuff together. And you can glue as much or as little as you want. Now, if you're using Zapier, if you want to do like what I just told you, it's called a multi-step. If you want to say, send an email, send it broadcast, send a voice broadcast, drop it on Google Sheets, put it in KV Core. If you want to do that, you have to get the paid version. The free version is only a one-to-one, which is not going to be helpful for the automation we're talking about. Zapier does. Do the others. Well, I'm not sure what that means. Do the others. Everything I mentioned, we tie together with Zapier. So that's how we actually set all that up. And that's just the automation piece. That's the back end. The key is getting in front of folks, however you do that. Now, that integration can work on Facebook. It can work on Google. It can work on Bing. It can work on, probably get it to work with Realtor.com leads or Zillow. I've not personally worked with them before, so I don't know how they deliver the leads, but you can probably find a way to make it work. But for automation, Zapier is awesome. All right, so let me write down, we covered this comment here, 3 hours, 21, 22. All right, I went over. I was trying to only do like 10, 15 minutes. Nate, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, let me see if we got any other questions here. Oh. Let me not hit the desk. Okay, let me see if there's anything else here. Looks like Zapier does integrate with KV Core. Cool. We got 24 comments here. Let's see what else we got. Okay. All right. So it looks like these comments are weird. Looks like we're good. Okay, guys. So if you have any other questions, you can keep commenting on here. Put your questions in here. I'm going to try and pull them down and put them over in my spreadsheet here. So the next live we get on, I'll dive straight in. I'll have some other experts. Nate will tag team when he can because he has a great agent perspective. If I can pull him, I'll pull him in. If one of you guys wants to be a guest, you have questions or you're doing things, pop on. We'll have a short discussion. Like I said, I want to keep it 10, 15 minutes. This one went a little longer. Again, if you're watching this and you have not watched the training and you're talking about getting new construction leads, I highly recommend using Google over Facebook. We'll talk about that later. But if you're used to getting, here's one thing I'll say, and this is definitely something I'll talk about. You don't need leads. Everybody's like, oh, I want leads. You don't need leads. Like, get that out of your head. And Nate, if you can put your 2 cents in on this too. You don't need leads. You need quality leads. You don't want a bunch of leads. You need quality leads, because I can show you right now how to get 600 leads in the next probably 3 days for inexpensive. And then in 3 days, you'll come back to me and tell me those leads were all crap, because they probably were. Now, if you really work them, you can get something out of it. But you don't need a volume of leads. You need leads that are higher in the funnel and ready to move and are higher quality.
Absolutely. Well, I would take it one step further and say, we don't leads are a secondary or maybe even tertiary target. Our primary goal is buyers. We want motivated buyers, people that are ready to take action. So, and if they're not, then we can put them into a lead category where they need to be nurtured and followed up with and stuff like that. But our goal and what we do with the Iconic Agent program is we get buyers. We get people who write checks. And that's the shortest distance between us and commissions is motivated buyers who know specifically what they want. And the program has done that consistently for us for a significant amount of time.
Yep, that's it. You nailed it. You want buyers. And here's the other thing, to set expectations. I'm a firm believer in transparency and setting expectations. I don't care what program you're in. Every lead you get is not going to be a buyer, because if it is, and you're only paying a couple $100 a month, there's something wrong. Because honestly, if I found a system that I got 100% of buyers, even 90% buyers, best believe that would be, probably wouldn't even share it. But if I did, it would be a higher price point, because you have to think about it. When you walk into a room, folks expect, like Facebook leads or any lead generation system, oh, I'm going to make all these buyers. Think about the last time you walked into a room at a networking event and 10 people did business with you that you met within that 3 months. That's the expectation folks have. And it's marketers, partially marketers' faults, because they sell it that way. But like, realistically, that's not how it works. Nate, what are the average rates for like conversions in person or online?
They usually range between 1% and 4%, somewhere in there. We've seen some much higher, between 5 and 10% sometimes, but industry average, I'd say somewhere between 1 and 4, conservatively, around 3%, somewhere in there.
Yeah. So that's it. All right, so we're at the top of the hour. We're going to go ahead and drop off. Thanks for the comments, folks, in the chat. Go ahead and put more questions in there if you have questions in there, until I figure out a better way to compile those. I'll probably set up a form or something. But nonetheless, you can hop on and ask questions too. We do have, I'm taking a repository of questions. I'm just going to answer them. Like I said, 10, 15 minutes, dive straight in. I also have some really smart and successful folks I'm trying to get on from, they're not realtors, but they're like business, some of them are business coaches. One of them's like a world-renowned public speaker, just to get folks on and provide additional help. Because it's great, real estate stuff, but there's other things too that are going to help you get through these times. And I'm going to provide as much value and insight as I can from my perspective, but I also want to bring experts on and share that with you too. Because we'll get through this. We just gotta figure it out. So I'm here for you guys. Go ahead and comment in there if you got any more questions. I'll monitor those. The next live will be in a couple days. I don't have a set schedule yet. I kind of want to put that together based on feedback. So actually, since you're here, yes, Camille, it's already recorded. So once I'm done, it'll be on Facebook. But I'm going to actually you probably couldn't hear Nate well, so I'm actually going to take Nate's, once this is recorded, I'm going to upload that, so there will be 2. One of them you'll see just me, like you see me here. The other one is over here, and you'll see me and Nate, and you'll be able to hear him much better for the times he spoke, because technology is technology. So let me ask you guys, how many days a week or what times would work for doing this for you guys? I was thinking like 3, maybe 4 times a week. Or with every other day is, it depends on interaction. So this is the first one, and the first one's always, folks hop on when they can. So what were your thoughts? What are your thoughts? How often would something like this be helpful? And of course, you guys want to come with some questions too, so we can hop on and answer those. Well, go ahead and put those in the chat. I'm not gonna hold you guys up longer, but I'm thinking like maybe 3 times a week to start, and then more as needed. But short, punchy, any information I can provide, resources, tools. I will be walking through the PDA process. I'll focus on each acronym. P is for projects, D is for demand, A is automation. So I'll actually walk through like on my screen and show you some things just to kind of give you some more ideas. And also don't forget, if you want to talk to me and you watch the training, go to talktodamon.com, schedule time. We'll hop on. I'll walk through the strategy session with you, kind of find out what you're doing, see if you're a good fit. Everybody's not a good fit. I work with you personally. This isn't one of those trainings where you get in and you take the training and people disappear. I'm not going to upsell you extra stuff for more help. My goal is to work with people that I work well with, number one, go-getters, number two, and folks that are going to do the work and that I can help them see the results. So that's that. If you haven't watched the training, go to newconstructionmastery.com. That is newconstructionmastery.com. Put your name, email, phone number in. I will text you access, and then I'll email you access. Watch that, and from there you can also set up a strategy call. So until the next one, we will talk in a few days. Stay safe. Hello. Okay, you there, Nate?
Yep. You still recording us or no?
Nope, I'm stopping now recording. You want to stop recording?